Hey everybody, Carm3D with you. This is a continuation of the spline video that I made last time, and as you can see I've pretty much recreated where I was last time, except I added one more joint branching off of this spine. Let me show you right here. I know in the video I said you can add a joint coming out of this thing, but I didn't do that. I just have it coming out of this. That way if you move this, you know, your rib cage doesn't separate, which is not advisable in most cases anyway. So this guy right here, I got spine, and then spine end. That was the last where we left off the video. And then I had a rib end, and what I want to do is rotate this guy so that he is oriented with the way this spine flows out here, because I'm just using one bone. I know you've seen in my lightweight rigging videos where I have the spine kind of flowing along where the actual spine flows in a actual Homo sapien, but I know because of cinema, the way it does its rigging with the weights, I figured this would keep things simpler, just having one joint going this way. But the neck is not going to be as simple as that, and so I just want to make sure that this first joint in this neck chain is more or less oriented in the way that the spine is flowing at this part of the body, because it flows this way and then it goes up into the skull. So that's good, just about there. So I will have to select it and then freeze all. Hit that if that matters. I also noticed that instead of freeze all, if you wanted to just freeze the position or just freeze the size or just freeze rotation, you can use one of these three guys. But anyway, I'm going to be trying some experimental stuff here in this video, so I'm probably going to be pausing the video and setting some stuff up, see if it works. If it works, I'll show you what I did. So I'm going to start that now, because the materials that I've looked at rig the head in a very different way, and it's not the way I like to rig, and I feel I am quite justified for doing it differently, which I will show you later on, should this prove to be successful. I hope it will be. So I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll see you at the end of the edit. Well, before I take a serious break here, I guess I might as well just let you watch me as I add some joints. I also wanted to point out rather, that I did go through and make this rig a little more structured from last time. You know, when you rotate, if you wanted to rotate around a particular element, you have to put your pointer over here while you're holding your Alt button down. Then it will rotate around that surface. Learn that the hard way. Okay, so here, this is the mover object right there, and this just lets me move the entire rig. Of course, the geometry is not following, but it will later. So undo that, and then the next child of that would be the root bone. Ignore this stuff because that's following the controllers. So the root bone is next. That lets me move around the rib and hip controllers. And of course, from there we have the chest and waist. Okay, well, the nomenclature doesn't really matter. But let's go back to the left view. And put my joint in place. I'll have this guy starting out from a direct tangent from the way this was pointing, and the way I'll do that is stupid selection thing. Okay, there we go. I'll just zero out everything but the Z changes. Leave that alone. And there we go. So now it's only moved in the Z from its parent, and it's also oriented to its parent. So I will freeze all at this point and add another joint. And this one is not so crucial because it is changing a direction. I will certainly zero this out and then rotate it a little more. Something like that. And one more joint. Well, maybe two more if we count the head. So this one will lead right up to where the head is rotating from, which is right about there. Maybe a little higher. Yeah. I should probably look at a skeleton, but I think that's close enough for animation work. Zero out the pitch, and then adjust the pitch. I want this to be right there. This is the angle that the head will swivel if you're shaking your head no. And it's important to note that it is not perfectly lined up like that, because we don't do that. When we shake our head no, we generally swivel it along the bank value, if you will, of the spine that's flowing into the skull. Because to rotate our head to shake our head no, if it was like this, it would require some concerted efforts. So this is more natural here. So one more joint. Let's lock this down. And that'll be the head. And I'll tell you what, I'll just do it from here. Yeah, that was easy. Maybe a little taller there. Okie dokie. So there's the bone layout. That's the easy part. From here, I have to figure out how I'm going to make this stuff work the way I want it to, in Cinema anyway. So this is a good time to pause the video. Okay, here's a little bit of progress. I have added a rectangle in here, like so, and I parented it to this bone, which is this joint right there. I had them named incorrectly earlier. I named the last one head, but that's actually up here. So I call that head end, and then this one is head. So I parented the rectangle to the head, and then zeroed out the position, and then after that, I parented that to the mover, which is where it will ultimately remain. And now I will freeze all, lock that down. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how you can modify your controller objects. I'm going to make him editable. And go to point mode. And with this guy here, I will just select everything and scale it down. I see. I can also just move this up to kind of like have it surround the head, even though the actual rotation is still there. But that's fine. Let's go in perspective here for a bit. Let's move this to the side here. Something like that. And I'm going to copy and paste that. I'll do it over here. Copy, paste. I guess it made the new copy outside the mover. So let's pick these guys. Whoops. Let's put this on the other side of the head. I just realized these don't really need to be on the head. You'll find out later. It doesn't matter. So I got them both selected. Right click. And connect objects and delete. It sounds like it would be a bad command to do. You don't want to delete it, but basically it connects them into a new object and deletes the old two. So now we have our combined rectangle. So we can call it a head control. And if we go to linear, let's see. Whoops. I think we can draw some boxes, some lines. Oh, no. That's making a new object. Okay, time to pause the video while I figure this out. Okay, so I broke out my spine. I enabled, the snap controls. I enabled snap, and it's on vertex snap. And using linear, I am clicking and clicking, and then spacebar to get out of that mode. And I guess I'll just combine everything together after the fact. Spacebar again to get back in that mode, I presume. Maybe not. Linear. And one last one. Let's try it. Nope. Gotta select it again. Okay. So we got the head control. Let's put all these guys underneath the mover there. Head control. Shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click. Right click. Oh, maybe I should do it over this one. Connect objects and delete. Hey, it almost worked. It decided to obliterate the top bit, but that's alright. That's good enough for me. Head control. Okay, let's see if my axis has been preserved. Nope. Let's go to axis mode here, and I don't know, maybe that'll work. Hey, it worked. Did it work in 3D? Not exactly. Cool. Well, doing the same thing that worked last time is appearing to work this time. Just wiggle it on all 3 axes until it's working. Oh, this is so awkward. Okay, I should be... I guess that's good enough. Alright. Okay. Let's get out of that mode now. And click on something else and click on that. Freeze transformation. I don't think it's adapting the angle. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's not oriented like this the head is, which is not cool. That is very bizarre. Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just accept that, freeze all, and do the same thing I did last time. Parent that to that. Zero everything out. Oh, what is it with this program? Oh, it's because of this. Clear. Alright. And now zero everything out. Okay. Freeze all. Let's put that back under the mover. Boy, they make everything so complicated, don't they? Freeze all. Okay. Now let's just pick these points again and move them over here. No. Not with this thing on. Okay. Okay, everybody. Let's all play nice, huh? Okay, it must be that thing where it's not selecting something if it's hidden. Yeah, you gotta love this, don't you? Gotta love it, every single bit of it. Okay. Alright, everybody happy now? No? Is anybody not happy at this point? Okay. I might even flip this around, because that looks a little better. Looks kind of like a helmet now. I'll do it this way. 180. Apply. Okay, cool. Alright. Okay. Everybody's good. Okay. Boy, I wish I could save my scene at this point, because it's going to be a pain if this thing crashes on me. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is pick him and go into the character menu, which is right here, and choose to pause the video. Okay, I got to the next step. The first thing I want to do is select my head joint and add a tag under character tags. I'm going to choose Constrain. Looks a little like a little thumbtack or a push pin. And then from here you choose what kind of constraint you want. I'm going to choose PSR, which is position, scale, and rotation. That will enable the options for PSR constraints. You can see you can go back here and change that up if you want to, but this is the PSR constraint controls. And for this case, I don't want position to be constrained. I only want rotation. And then let me get rid of this. The only thing left to do is to choose the target. And that will be the head control. Okay, so in theory, this next step is functioning. If I choose my head control and rotate it, yeah, it is working. Okay, and also because the head control is not part of the other structure stuff, the root and all this stuff, it's completely separate. So that means I can pick this guy and rotate, and you can see the head stays at the same orientation. This is very easy for us to do with our own bodies. Whoa, it's going crazy nuts. But if I had told this controller to be a child of this guy, this kind of action would be very difficult to do. And so we will move on from here, which leads me to another X factor I have to pause the video and figure out. But I just wanted to update you on the progress so far. So you can bend over while his head's still looking straight ahead. So that's a good thing. Okay, so I'll pause the video and figure out how to get the neck to flow into the orientation of the head, because as you know, this bone is the same exact orientation as this one, so that might be helping us out. It certainly does in another program that I use. I'll see you after the edit. Okay, I think I might be onto something here. I added another constraint on, as you can see, I renamed, this used to be rib N, so I just named it neck A, neck B, neck C. And I added a constraint on neck C to follow the same head control model. And there it is. Okay, let's get rid of that thing again. Okay, so it's only on rotation, right there, rotation only. And I wanted this weight thing to be available because I would really like it to only rotate half as much as the head is doing, and that way it can do a nice blend from here to here. So it turns out you don't get this weight control unless you hit add for a second control to constrain to. So this might work. Let's find out. I'm going to proceed from here. Hopefully this will work. I'm not picking anything for a secondary constraint. worst case scenario, I may have to add a null object in the orientation of that neck C bone or joint, as it is in the default pose, parented it within that hierarchy so it stays there, and then I'll just have that one be 50%. But let's see what this does from here. Now the problem is that the head is a child of the neck, so everything that this is doing is going to be additive from this. So that means when I rotate the head controller, we get this kind of thing going on, which is not so good. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to detach the head from the neck and then reattach it via a constraint. That way whatever's going on with this bone does not influence this bone, except for the position only, if that works. This is all very experimental for me. So I'm going to pause the video here and proceed. Now I was just thinking I should probably show you what I'm going to do here, because this might be a little complicated for some. I'm going to go my left view. Okay. So we got a very simple hierarchy: spine, neck, head, and I need to detach the head without losing the position of anything. So I'm going to first look at where the head is, and I can see that the rotation's been modified, probably because of these constraints. I'm going to delete these for now and zero that out. Yeah, put everything back the way it was, and then after we detach it, then I'll re-add the constraints. So I can see that the head is this many down the z-axis, and it shouldn't be any on the y. I don't know why that is. I'm going to clear that out, and I'm going to clear that out too. Yeah, that's the way I wanted it to be. Same orientation as that last neck joint, and the only difference would be the position on the z, and that's good. Okay. So, as I was saying, this many, I'm going to copy that value, and I'm going to take this head and parent this to the mover. Okay, so you can see we have a gap now. And so I'll take my neck C, add a joint, make that joint a child of the neck C, and then I want 0, 0, paste, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so now my neck end joint ends right where the head leaves picks up, but they're in a separate hierarchy. Yeah, I can pick up the head and detach it, but let's not do that. Oh, come on, really? Really? You had to delete and obliterate my structure just because I wanted to demonstrate that for these good students? This program, I tell you. Look at that, it puts it way over there. What's the deal, huh? Why do you have to fight me? I guess I should have froze the transformations. Alright, well, I'm going to pause the video and repair this. Damn it. Okay, everything's fixed. Let's see if I can add my constraints and wrap this up. Or at least, whoops. What did I just do? Hopefully nothing. Okay, anyway. First thing I'll do is I'll add a position constraint for the head so that it stays glued to the neck end joint there. Tags, character tags, constrain, PSR, And I think I might be able to just do it all in one tag, because all I want is position here, and that would be the neck end. Okay, and let's add one that is rotation only, and that would be the head controller. Okay, so that might work. Let's find out. We got the rotation is working, and if I rotate this, the head is following. Looks like there's a little bit of a delay there, but I think when it comes to actual rendering, except for what just happened right there, I think it'll work. What the crap, really? Really, guys? Is this how you do things? Alright, time to pause the video again. Okay, I think I got it working better now. Or maybe I don't. This was working a minute ago. When I hit local P, it was following it. Now it's not. See, it's like sometimes it does. Another thing, I turned frame update on. I think that was a mistake. Sorry, I didn't know where my screen recorder was. I hope you saw all that. So I turned frame update on, and I turned it back off. And I'm going to hit local position. See what that does. Nothing. Okay, well, it might be the case of having two controllers with a weight of 100%. So let's try this. Turn that off, maybe? Okay, I don't know what's happening. It looks like I have two chest controllers now, but it's following it. As I said, there's a lag, but I hope to holy whatever that only happens when you're scrubbing, and if you were to make an actual animation, it'll stay put. And it does this. When I click on it and zero everything out, it jumps back to where it's supposed to be. So I don't know what to say there. I'm going to see if I can add two tags. So we have a position tag, or was that rotation tag? That was a position tag. Okay, let's add another tag. Okay, good. It looks like we can have multiple constraint tags. So this one is the new one. That one's a position. And we'll do rotate only on this guy. See if that makes a difference. Okay. It's doing the rotate. Let's see if it still does the position. No. Okay. I guess I have to pause the video now. Okay. I got a little further progress here. What I did was I made, let me back out a little bit. I made a little animation of the spine bending over 60 frames. And I found out that on the position, this is the one I'm using for position, telling the head to stick with the neck end. And if you choose dynamics for priority of this PSR constraint, and it seems to work. It's sticking with it. There's no lag. everything's good. So that priority thing is a little important, I think. Let's see if our rotation's working still. I'll set a keyframe here. I'll rotate this back a bit. Set a keyframe. Sorry, I'm not talking while I'm animating. Okay. So it looks like everything is working good. A little bit of a exaggerated whiplash at the end there, but that's just a matter of animation cleanup. Okay, so that's good. The next thing to do is to set a constraint on this guy right here. Next C. Character constraint. PSR. And I'm going to guess this is important. Our target is the head controller. Okay, that's different. Oh, I'm using position. I don't want that. I just want rotation. It's still, there's some weird stuff. Okay, it was just temporary. Okay, let's zoom in here, see what's going on. Okay. What appears to be happening is it's calculating these at the same time, or it's calculating this before this because it is not moving this to where this is. So that might be okay. Well, first of all, we don't need that visible. I do know that I want to tell this to be 50% strength. I can see it jumps into place here, so it's clearly a case of this not seeing where this is because maybe this is getting calculated first and then this one's getting calculated, and that's bad. So maybe if I lower the priority animation. Oh, okay, this is weird. Whoops. Oh. There. Okay, that's some weird stuff there. It's like it's taking this rotation, which is a certain amount, and adding it to this, which we know was almost zero based on being a child of this. So maybe animation is not, or maybe we need to do like local rotation. Well, I guess I'm going to be pausing the video again. Okay, I think I got it working now. Although I'd like to say there's probably a reason why you never see any character animation done in this program. Frame update seemed to have fixed it. Also, it appears to me that this priority is a linear progression because I'm getting like different results based on which one I choose. And I had this set to expression. I could be wrong, but it looks like this one's done first, then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So it's like you got 5 different groups of the order of which things are calculated. So I know that the other one is set to dynamics. So if I set this one to expression, it's able to keep up with it because it's calculating this first and then this one based on this. And frame update, turn that on. So you can see now that I'm going to go slow because I know this is a low frame rate of my recorder. You can see that the last neck joint is rotating half as much as this is, and this is staying locked to that end neck. So this is good. This lets us rotate the body anywhere we want, and the head will stay oriented to whatever this is doing, this controller. And also, let's see, I just realized that this thing is twisting half as much as this is twisting, which is not ideal. Let me see what's going on here. It looks like, okay, yeah, I also noticed that I was getting better results when I turned these guys off. What you might want to do when you do this for realsies is turn bank off. And let me just do that now, because the reason why I say that is, yeah, it's still working. See, we want this guy to bend on the heading and pitch only to be half as much as this one, to whatever, based on this. But we want the neck twisting all the way up the neck evenly. Like this would be 30%, this would be, no, that's not right, it would be 25, 50%, 75%, and then 100%. So you would probably want to make 3 more constraints, 1, 2, 3, with varying degrees of strength, 25%, 50%, and 75%. And these guys would be only using this. And I think that would do the trick of twisting the neck as this happens. Because right now, you can see only the head is twisting. So, I think that's plenty long enough for this video, and I can't say have fun. That would sound very sarcastic, but good luck. And if you have any problems, let me know. Bye-bye.